Okay. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Life has been lifing. I will say
Yeah,
that. But I mean, overall, it's been good. I'm enjoying that it's starting to warm up finally.
I
At least I
know.
am. Some people are not as excited about it, but I'm looking forward to it.
It
I'm
was
ready for
really an
some.
odd winter.
It was. It wasn't very cold this year, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
How are
spring
you
is
doing?
my favorite. I'm doing okay. I'm so busy. I'm so
Hmm.
busy. And I don't think I told you, but I'm preparing for law school.
Oh no.
And so I'm in full-time school right now. I'm finishing up my undergrad.
Hmm.
I'm also preparing for law school. And so um, I just have like a lot that I'm working on, and it's
Yeah.
like draining me
Hmm.
a lot.
Hmm.
So I'm tired, and I was in a slump for like 4 weeks and I just barely started to feel like I'm coming out of it. So
Hmm. Yeah. That's real though. But it's good that you're reaching out of there and you're
yeah.
starting to hopefully see a little bit more of yourself and like, okay, yeah, getting a better hang of it. I think sometimes it can be like it's like a new schedule, a new routine you have to get used to, and that's a little different. But yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations. Good for you.
Thanks. I'll let you know if I get in. So we'll
I think
see.
yeah. What made you want to pursue that, if you don't mind me asking?
So honestly, like the direction that I was going in was more like the therapy route or
Mhm.
social work or just
Mhm.
kind of both.
Yeah.
And it honestly started when I was talking to somebody about this, and she basically told me like all therapists suck, all social workers suck. And it just made me think like, well, do they suck or are they just limited?
Yeah.
Like, is there only so much that they can do within their power before they hand it off to like authority figures who actually have power and authority? And I felt like I wanted to have that kind of power and authority to protect and advocate for vulnerable and marginalized populations. And so, and then I was on the phone with my grandpa, and he accidentally called my schooling that I'm doing right now law school.
Yeah. Hmm.
He was like, keep going to law school. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh my gosh, no. I had never even thought about it before. And after he said that, I couldn't get it out of my head. And
Okay.
and so I was just like, you know what? I think
Just gonna go for
I'm
it.
gonna look at
Send it.
like I went and looked into it, and I met with so here in the state, you can only do law school at BYU or the University of Utah.
Mhm.
So I went and met with both, and I just like felt really good about it. So go
Nice.
for it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, good for you. You're a lot better than me because I think I'm schooled out, honestly. I think I'm schooled out.
Yeah. So how much schooling have you done?
Most of my schooling has been more like program based, so like with life coaching. And then when I first came to Utah, I did go to school to get my aesthetics license at
Oh,
Skin Science Institute.
uh-huh.
So I do have some knowledge of the aesthetic world, but I mean that was back in 2018. So I know a lot's changed from then even till now in the skin world. So and then I also dabbled in getting my certifications in um fitness, as in becoming a personal trainer.
Cool.
And then kind of when COVID kind of came around, I started looking more into the life coaching thing. So
Mhm.
just been taking more programs in that and then getting more, I guess, laser focus versus like because it's so broad
Yeah.
with life coaching. So I wanted to get more of a niche, get more niche down, and then I wanted to get more understanding of it. I mean, because I can work with people who are divorced, but I don't want to work with people who are going through a divorce, like people who are going through it. I want to focus on people who are post that and who are already kind of accustomed to the way of what it is, have
Hmm.
kind of gone through some of the woes of it and kind of experienced some aha moments for themselves. It's like, yeah, like I know I want to do these things now, now that I have the opportunity to focus on myself in ways I've neglected. So that's kind of like where my focus has been is just doing those things and just also learning about myself because I feel like even post divorce, I'm still learning about myself, even though it's been like 5 years.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's been a pretty interesting roller coaster, just kind of dabbling in everything, trying to figure out
Yeah.
where I want it to be. And then now that I know, it's just like, okay, cool. I can put my focus there and just kind of play around and just see what works for me and what doesn't. So,
Cool. On
mhm.
that note, why don't you like introduce yourself formally and just give us like your elevator pitch?
Yeah. So I am Sage and I am a certified divorce and life coach. I am originally from California, born and raised, and I've also joined the military for a time. I was in the service, and I'm got a lot of background going there, meeting different people, getting different experiences in different cultures, and that was very eye-opening for me. And I just love the fact that I have such a diverse life,
Hmm.
coming from a small town in Bakersfield, California, which is not very expansive. It's not very exciting. So just to be able to leave that place and just to be able to broaden my own mindset is very I did never thought of myself even experiencing those things in my life. I just had a different mindset for myself and what I thought my life would look like. And I'm grateful for all the turns, all the failures, all the ups and downs, which led me here. And I would do it again. Honestly, I would do it again just because it's led me to become the person who I am today and to know that I can reach people the way that I can today in ways that I couldn't 10 years ago is just so mind blowing and how a journey can shift in a way where we think that it's not a win, where it's not how we wanted it to go. And in hindsight, it's like, oh, this is actually working for me. Even though this is a struggle and a pain and a suffering or whatever, this is actually working for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say to anyone who's listening or watching, like anytime that we are experiencing trials and tribulations of various kinds, or we see all the chaos in this world that's going on today. So
Hmm.
this is how can I utilize this for a benefit?
Hmm.
I mean, because we're all in this together, even though we're all experiencing different journeys and stories, different things, we all experience setbacks and disappointments and failures and physical pains, mental blocks, and all kinds of things. So, um, yeah, I just can yap. So you have to stop me sometimes too.
Well, I was just gonna, on that note of like these things can work together for your benefit, like
Mhm.
that's something that I feel like I've just come to realize, but also I've had to like let go of ideas and like vision
Mhm. Yeah.
because like I thought that certain things were supposed to pan out a certain way, or
Mhm.
I have like this vision of how I want things to go with my life, but like the way that things have gone already and what that has built me for and prepared me for now, I'm just like, I need to let go of that vision. So, like, for example, okay,
Yeah.
when I got divorced, I
Mhm.
thought that it was like in my calling or in my duty. I don't know. Like, I thought
Yeah.
I was gonna go get remarried.
Mhm.
And like, I'm not saying that I won't, but at this point in time, I am saying that I won't. Like,
Mhm.
like not forever and ever, but like, really, I'm kind of just gonna do my own thing until something comes along. But so like, I just had to let go of that image of what I thought I would have for my life, which was a life partner, which I've
Yeah.
never had.
Mhm.
Even when I was married, I didn't have that. And so like
Yeah.
I thought that I would eventually have like a life partner at some point in my life, and I just don't. And I don't think
Mhm.
that that's in my cards, and I don't really want to like hang on to that hope. Like
Yeah.
I have these skills, this unique skill set that has been a result of all the refining fire that I've experienced in my life that
Yeah.
people would say was like wrong, that was unjust and
Yeah.
unjustified, and
Yeah.
like those things shouldn't have happened to me, or I shouldn't have allowed them to happen.
Hmm.
Putting a lot of responsibility on me to like take accountability for these things. And I've like thought about that over and over again. I'm like, no, I don't think I would have done anything differently. And because of these experiences, like I'm really tough.
Hmm.
And so like I just feel like I was built for where I'm going, which is law school and hopefully being able to like dominate in a courtroom and really advocating for people who I feel like don't have as much of a
Yeah.
voice
Hmm.
as, white Americans um and just like I have what it takes. Unfortunately, I have what it takes to like go my whole life as a single mom
Hmm.
because of what I've been through. And so I've
Yeah.
just kind of had to like accept what I would have to let go of
Hmm.
in order to let those things work together for my benefit. If
Hmm.
that makes sense. Like I had to
Yeah.
allow that.
Hmm. Yeah. It definitely is. In a way, it's like you have to shed this layer of skin,
Hmm.
just like the way a reptile does. It's like, okay, this is, and it's okay to put something on hold too. It's okay to be like, hey, like, this is still a desire of mine, but it's also very mature to know, like, hey, this would probably impede me from reaching that goal if I had a significant other right now. Because it takes effort and time to dedicate yourself to law school or to anything that you want to be great at. And that also includes a relationship. So if you're dedicating the time to someone and while also trying to do that to school, not say this that it's not impossible. People do those things, but why not give yourself that leverage of like, hey, I can be selfish right now. I can allow myself to have this time to focus on the things that I want to do. Whereas in different settings, I probably couldn't do those things because I would have to be like, oh, I can only spend so much time studying or so much time going to a class or a course because I have to come home to my partner so I can spend time with him as well,
Mhm.
or vice versa. So it's the same thing as like having that balance with yourself as a mother and your children because you can love them, but it's like, hey, I also have to do this for me
Mhm.
and for them, and I can't do those things simultaneously if I'm spending time with them and then neglecting what I have to do for myself to better myself and for them. So I think that's very mature of you to be like, hey, like I do want those things, but right now this is what's more important,
Yeah.
what's more fulfilling, and what's going to set me up to become the best version of myself and how I can better be of service to others. And
Yeah.
I think because it's so ingrained in us from society, from what we watch growing up and how we think this fairy tale life is supposed to be, and but there's more to you as a woman than just being a spouse or being a mother. You
Mhm.
can you can wear these different hats, different titles, and it's okay to put something to the side for a
Mhm.
moment so
Yeah.
that way you can get to the version that you desire to be, or even you may not even know what that looks like, but it's like, I'm going to acquire it. I know it's going to be great. I know I'm going to do well. So I think that that's very awesome for you to do those things because a lot of us, especially as women, tend to be like, oh, like I don't have this. And somehow it makes me less than
Mhm.
that don't have a partner, or I'm not somehow where I'm supposed to be in life. Because I mean, you can all these different things that we can see on just social media. But by the time you're 35, you should know how to do this, or by the
Yeah.
time you're 40, you should know and have this. It's just like not everyone lifestyle should look like that. For
Yeah.
some, it may, but for all of us, no. I think knowing that you can go on a different path that's still correct.
Hmm.
It's just I'm taking a different path for myself. I don't have to do those feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And that's really that's what life is about. Because I we struggle with companionship and what that looks like, and that can be different.
Hmm.
Companionship can be your friend. Companionship can be your children at times. It can be just yourself.
Hmm.
And learning to be content with those things, I think, is a very wise space to be in.
Yeah.
I definitely commend you on that.
Yeah, I feel
And
very liberated.
yeah, yeah, I bet as you should, girl, as you should. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just realized that any partner that I attempted to have, I kept leaving them behind.
Hmm.
Like I kept on like leveling up and rising and growing and developing, and I was like, I in the short time that we've been together, I've already outran you. I need
Hmm.
like I can't be with a partner right now. I'm running too fast.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to like slow down and settle down.
Hmm.
Like I'm in sprint mode. I'm like this is a time for me to establish something for my family and I know like I feel called to this. I feel passionate about it. I know what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, I just felt like with how fast I'm moving and developing and growing, like I just keep leaving people behind.
Hmm. Yeah, that's okay. And I think growth is has happens in different ways. Sometimes it may be physically, it may be financially, it may be mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You're just like you're kind of stagnant, and that's nowhere where you should be. You don't want to have individuals who are going to keep you somewhere,
Hmm.
especially if you're the type of individual who desire, as we should be. We should be desiring to grow and to learn and to expand our knowledge or whatever it may be.
Hmm.
um I think being in a space of stagnation is very scary. That's more scary than
Yes.
taking the risk, than taking the chance.
Yes.
Because even if you fail, like at least you tried. At
Yeah.
least you attempted it. I did it. Versus just like, I'm okay. Right. This is all I need, like
Yeah.
no, like there's so much more to still learn and to discover, and even about yourself. There's
Yeah.
so much more to discover. So, and I'd rather look back in life and be like, at least I know I tried. At least I
Hmm.
know I gave it my best effort versus just like some people stay in their same hometown, never leave their hometown. It's just like
Yeah.
there's a whole world that you're missing out on.
I
Like
know.
so
Crazy.
that's how some people's mentalities are even within themselves. It's just like, oh, like I'm going to stay this way and think this way
Yeah.
for that's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Mm, no.
Totally. I had a question for you. In your training as a life coach, like how do you handle those
Stop it, please.
those shame-based like thought processes of like what I had previously said about having experienced like abuse and
Hmm.
being abused,
Hmm.
I was shamed a lot for allowing it.
Yeah.
Like quote unquote, I allowed that and that really messed with me like bad. And
Hmm.
it took me like years to be like where I'm at today to realize like I actually did not allow that,
Hmm.
you know? So like how do you help people work through that shame?
For me, it's a matter of kind of you have to go back. You have to go back to where things started for you and just recognizing, like, okay, you only know so much,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because that saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Hmm.
It's one thing to experience something and have made it through versus like, okay, I'm experiencing this and then I'm going to go back to it. I'm experiencing, I'm going to go back to it.
Hmm.
And even if you did go back to something that was similar, you're still having to learn and unlearn.
Hmm.
So for others, it may take them 8 times to do that, right? Versus where someone's like, oh, like, no, I was 19 years old when this happened to me, right? And I'm 29 years old now. And what I knew then, I didn't know now. I would have responded differently. I would have handled that differently. I would have spoke up more. I would have, you know, so it's a matter of going back to where you were and what had occurred, and then recognizing I was a child. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even if you weren't physically a child, in your mindset, I was a child in that, because I hadn't experienced much. I didn't know much.
Mm-hmm.
And also a lot of people who come from a religious background,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty typical,
Yeah.
especially if you grew up very sheltered, and it's very like, oh, well, this is what God says. And I mean, to a degree, yes, but I think people also misuse God in
Mm-hmm.
a way to inflict that you're wrong.
Yeah, it's like a
You
they
can't
weaponize.
undo this. Yeah, it's like you can't undo this, and it's just like now you're also poorly representing what God is saying,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if He's all knowing and this all redeeming, loving being,
Mm-hmm.
why can't that be reconciled in terms of like, oh, like I didn't know that,
Mm-hmm.
and be okay in that, and just go back and be like, you know what, I did the best I could with what I had.
Mm-hmm.
I and I was strong
Yeah.
during that. And it's just like people who experience, like, domestic violence, like, well, I would never allow whatever, like we can just, I would never do that, You don't know. You don't know until you're in a situation.
Yeah.
And when someone who's going through abuse, your mind is changing.
Mm-hmm.
You're it's not developing to be strengthened, it's developing to be weakened. So it's like whatever you're being told it's going to receive, whether you're good or bad, you're telling it, it's going to believe that. And you're hearing it over and over and over again. Oh, I am ugly. I am fat. I am this. I am this. And then you're going to start replicating that in terms of like, oh, my, by your actions, oh, I am going to be this timid, shy, calm, I'm not going to raise my voice type of woman. And no, so just go back to where it was, and go back as many times as you have to. Go back, forgive yourself, forgive whatever person or situation that happened. It's just like, I did my best with what I knew in
Mm-hmm.
that moment. But if that was to come to me today, I would know how to say X, Y, and Z to protect myself, or to protect my children, or to protect whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that's what I would kind of tell someone who's going through a certain situation. Just give yourself that grace, because you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And even if people are like, oh, well, the signs were there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we are oblivious to those signs.
Yeah.
Like how we say, what was it, green flags and red flags? Like, oh, I don't see red flags. I don't see them. We don't, because we can be blinded, whether that's with love or with lust or whatever it is. It's just like, I didn't see it then,
Mm-hmm.
but now I do. And now I know what not to look for or what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what the beauty is of growth
Mm-hmm.
and of maturing and of life. Like, even though life is hard, we also have the beauty of knowing that I can change things. Some things can be immediate, some things will take years, but at least I can know, like, I'm I'm creating a new path now, and I can pick little Susie up from whenever she was 19 years old to look forward and be like, I know that I love you and I care about you. You didn't know what you were doing then. Like, whenever I was 19, I didn't know a lot of things. I
Yeah.
had this different vision of what the world was, and it was just so blissful and
Yeah.
so naive and gullible to a lot of things. You just didn't know. And if I could go back to 19-year-old Sage, I'd be like, girl, I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I am so proud of you and how you handle things, how you carry yourself, and how you still have a kind heart, how you still can have a kind conversation with someone, and how you can look at someone who's struggling and still show empathy. Because you should be mean, you should be cold hearted for the things that have happened to you. So I think that's a beautiful thing that we can do as people, that we can have the chance to move forward in a way. It's just like, I can do better. I can still show kindness, but I also can have boundaries and be assertive when I need to. So I just think it's so awesome that we have the opportunity to transform.
Hmm.
throughout our lives.
Yeah.
So
How would you handle those conversations with others? Because I have people in what was my inner circle. They're not in my inner circle anymore, but like family members, close family members, relatives, people in my neighborhood that told me that I brought this upon myself. So
I
how do you navigate those conversations with people?
I I would say if someone, it's definitely more of their perspective, and they're entitled to say what they believe is right. It's a matter of recognizing where you are in life, because people like to bring up the past. That's who they see you as still, is from those years ago. They don't see you for who you are today, or the things that you've to improve yourself and to grow. Um, so for I would just say kind of like, that's what you knew, but that's not who I am anymore. Who I get to know who I am now. Get to know what I'm doing today, because sure, I may have allowed some things, or what you believe is what I've allowed, but that's not who I am.
Hmm.
I'm not that person anymore. And I think people just hold on to that just like a parent, but they'd be like, oh, their child is an adult, but they still see them as a baby. You're still my, I still remember you this small and you're doing this, but they're not that anymore. They're still your baby, but they're older now. They're more independent now. They have their more own personality now. And people don't like to let go of that vision of you, because it's like some people use it for control or
Hmm.
to make themselves feel better. Um, so I think for us, whenever things are being told to us in that way, we just have to recognize, like, okay, I've grown, but they haven't. They
Hmm.
haven't grown, because they're still holding on to the vision of who I was versus who I am. And
Hmm.
some people are very unwilling to learn who you are today, to
Yeah.
give you that chance and give you that grace, like, oh, like you actually are like a different person, like,
Hmm.
you know. And yeah, we just hold on to these different ideologies and different ideas of how someone is,
Hmm.
and we don't allow people to grow. But
Yeah.
when it's you and someone's saying those things, it's like if they are saying that to you or to whomever, um, that's more like a projection of how they want you to be. They
Hmm.
still want you to be that weak person, and it's just like, I'm not. I'm not who that gullible person anymore.
Hmm.
So, and I think that kind of intimidates people when they see you growing. So it's easy for them to bring up the past to kind of instill that fear or hesitation or whatever it may be. So it's like a bad ex coming back, right? And they're just like, oh, like, remember when we used to do this and that? Not anymore. That's not who I am anymore. I don't know who that is. I don't know her anymore. I
Hmm.
don't do those things. Um, that's kind of what I would kind of put the mindset towards. It's just like, that's not me anymore.
Hmm.
That's who I was, but who I am today is not that. And I think we all kind of do that sometimes, where we can look at someone like, oh yeah, you used to do this and that all the time. Nope, not anymore. I don't
Yeah.
party anymore. I don't drink anymore. I don't do this anymore. Like, I'm somebody totally different. Get to know me now.
Yeah. No, and I feel like they speak with an air of like it's almost like they look down upon me and dislike me
Hmm.
because of what I went through and
Hmm.
because I brought that upon myself. And so they want me to know that they will not feel sorry for me, but I'm not asking them to. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, why are you making this a point? I never asked you to like feel sorry for me. I didn't
Hmm.
even bring up my life with you. Why do you have to come and tell me? It's
Hmm.
like they're angry.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's more so angry that you withstood that, and that you've overcome it. Um, People don't like to see you win. even if that's family, people who are close to you, people who you thought were close to you. People don't like to see you win. I think they just don't like to see the shift or the light come back into you, or just they just don't. Especially family. I think it's harder because they've seen you grow from little you to big you, and sometimes also they they may have want you to stay. Some people want you to stick around, stick it out, because you should have stuck it out. You should have stayed because that was a quote unquote good man or whatever people say. It's just like, no, I don't have to. This is not the 1950s anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have free will.
Mm-hmm.
I can grow and, as they say, do bad all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that ruffles a lot of feathers for people because it's just like, because they didn't have wouldn't have the courage to do it. They
Yeah.
wouldn't do that. So, and I think in our day and age, there are a lot more women nowadays who are filing for divorce, who are initiating that. Whereas like grandparents and great grandparents, they would never, I would never do that, you know, because
Yeah.
they were financially bound, or who
Mm-hmm.
knows, maybe in abusive situations where they felt like they had to stay for the
Mm-hmm.
children or for whatever reason. Whereas like our generation, it's more so like, oh, I don't have to accept this. This
Mm-hmm.
is actually bare minimum.
Yeah.
I don't have to accept this misogynistic, egotistic mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go out and be healthier, be more effective, and have more laughs and share more love and experience more love than if I stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And just be, I think sometimes people can look from the outside, just like, oh, well, if he's not cheating on you, or if he's not hitting you, or if it's not this, you should just stick it out. And it's just like, it's not just the physical as well, it's also the emotional
Mm-hmm.
toil, the mental toil, the spiritual toil that this person is putting me in.
Mm-hmm.
And my depression is on all-time high. My anxieties, I'm having physical health issues. And it's just like, because your body's going to tell you, like, this is
Mm-hmm.
not where you should be. It's going to show up somehow, somewhere.
Yeah.
And I just think nowadays women are waking up a lot quicker than what our grandparents and great grandparents would have. Or
Yeah.
maybe they would have been aware, but they would just been too afraid
Mm-hmm.
because of the shame, because of the guilt, because of the fear, or whatever it may have been. But it's still scary. I was scared to get my divorce. I mean, I didn't envision myself doing that,
Mm-hmm.
breaking up a family or a household, especially again coming from a Christian household where it's just like it's frowned upon to get divorced and all these different things. But it's just like my health is in jeopardy. And
Mm-hmm.
if I can't be well, then that means I can't be well for my daughter, for myself, for if I want to have a future at all. Like there's so much more outside of just being a wife, and wearing the title of a wife is an honor, but I think it's not the only honor,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
Yeah.
Okay, something's going on with my recording and it's telling me I only have 2 minutes left. Do you know
Okay.
why? Do you know why it would do that?
No, I do not.
Okay. I'm gonna stop recording and then start over and see. It'll save this recording.
Hmm.